Making money like a mint. Laying in my ice like shrimp. Mint condition that I'm in. Coming with the freshness.
I have bone broth. Yep, I'm getting old. Hey YouTube, it's me Kristianna, and I want to talk about my late 20s. I want to talk about my 20s. I want to talk about how I am 28 years old now. I will be 29 sooner than later. My birthday's in January. And the things that I have learned along the way. I have to say that my late 20s feels like it's been especially brutal, and I don't know if that's just like what being in your late 20s is about, or is it like the state of the world? I don't know, but I feel like based on the ass kickings I have experienced in my late 20s, I got some things I want to relay to you. Here are 7 things I have definitely learned in my late 20s. Number 1, it is incredibly important to be able to depend on yourself. I have some really great friends. I have friends who have let me sleep on their couch. I have friends who have let me live with them and their families. I have friends who have helped. I have friends who have helped me move. I have had friends who have lent me money. I have friends that have given me money. I also have had friends who have thrown these favors and good deeds back in my face. Now, that's no shade. It is incredibly important as a woman in this world, as a woman of color in this world, as a Black woman in this world, to be able to make decisions for yourself and be able to survive and hustle and move when you gotta. I've definitely had experiences where I had to make snap, quick decisions on a dime, and I'm thankful that I have had the common sense and the knowledge to survive. I guess that's, you know, kudos to my mama, to make decisions for my life. I also want to point out that being able to depend on yourself also expands beyond getting favors and, you know, help from friends and family, but also can just be just like being able to depend on yourself for company, for, you know, like companionship, but like being able to find peace with yourself. Beyonce and them was on to something when they was talking about being an independent woman. Number 2, finding your voice. Now, I will say that finding my personal voice, finding who I am, what I stand for, what I don't, was not so much of a challenge for me personally. I think I've always kind of had a good sense of self, a good sense of who Kristianna is, which is why I have like branded the Kristianna Way. I think I just have a certain, my just certain ways of being and going about the world that I feel comfortable with. But I will say that it has been incredibly important to, you know, not only like find my voice, but to have it as a reminder of who I am when the world tells me who they think I should be. When you know who you are, people can't tell you shit, on period. Now, I will say that if you are someone who finds yourself struggling with your sense of self, maybe it is that you do need to experiment, like try some new things, read some new books. Like, I think there are a lot of different ways that people come upon who they are. I think for me, it was definitely just a series of life experiences that were new at the time that they were happening, but they shaped me for the rest of my life. And so I think everybody kind of has their aha moments at different points in time, and maybe, you know, maybe yours hasn't even come yet. We just don't know. And I think that also what's kind of cool about life is that, you know, you could have like I could end up having a new aha moment in the future that will reshape me again. I feel like when you have a foundation of who you are as a person, it is really hard for people to tear you down. Unpopular opinion, social currency is worth more than gold. Okay, so maybe not gold, right? But it is worth a lot. You know when they used to say like, it's not what you know, it's who you know? In my late 20s, there have been several instances where I maybe knew a person who knew a person who knew a person that was able to help me to network opportunities. If you've been following me for a while, I am someone who has always had to adult since I became an adult, which means that, like, you know, opportunities like being able to go to college and like have certain types of experiences I just didn't get to have. That, like, as an introvert, I have struggled with putting myself out there to meet new folks. Struggled with, like, you know, sometimes I'm a little bit antisocial. Sometimes I'm a little bit weird. Like, I'm weird, y'all. I'm weird. The times that I have been able to overcome those things about myself and make those connections with people, they typically pay off. And I don't know where I would be to this day without social currency, especially in Philadelphia. Here's another hot topic. Number 4, these jobs don't care about you. They don't care about you. You are another number, another cog in the wheel, and when you're gone, they will replace you and move on. When I was younger and I started working, my first job was in retail, and it was at Forever 21, and it was the worst job I ever had, but I met a ton of people, some of which I'm actually still friends with to this day. But at the time, like, going to work and hanging out with my friends at work was like super duper important to me. And for many years, I kept this attitude of becoming super friendly with coworkers, nestling in, being family with coworkers, but not necessarily seeing the ways in which that created a toxic environment for me. Like, there were so many things that I overlooked as an employee just because I was friendly with people who worked with me. The things that I allowed, the things that bit me in the butt, the times that I came in when I was dying and sick just because I wanted to look more dedicated to my work, the times I literally neglecting my body just so I could show up to do half-ass work because, you know, I thought that that's what you were supposed to do. But at the end of the day, if you can no longer show up for these jobs, they will discard you and move on from you. And I'm not gonna lie, I think this was a really hard lesson for me in my late 20s, just because I think it's natural for you to want to do your best at your job. You want to go hard for your work. You want to be, you know, looked at in a certain way, or maybe it's just me, Capricorn. And at the end of the day, you know, the work goes on with or without you. Speaking of work, number 5, the importance of health insurance. As a millennial in America, I think I have spent more years without health insurance than with health insurance. And I can say the same for most of my friends. We just be out here doing the home remedies. But the older I get, the more important health insurance becomes. I don't know how much more I can say about that, but baby, oh no. Which slides into number 6, these body changes though. The way that my body has changed as a woman in the last 5 years or so, this is not a joke, okay? This is not a joke. I even have some videos still out if you guys want to look at them. You don't have to. You really don't have to. but you will see that I am a whole lot heavier than I was just a few years ago. And it's really interesting the way that these metabolisms be going, the way that these knees is working out for me. I just started like taking collagen because apparently we're like I'm in the age bracket now where we don't produce as much collagen as we used to, and that might explain why my knees are always hurting. So I just started doing that. But yeah, these body changes are very serious, and I hear that they're only going to get worse. So I love that for me. 7, men of all ages have the ability to be trash. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. Okay. Not all men are trash. But what I'm saying is being a trash man does not have an expiration date the way that I thought it did. I am someone who sometimes like I'm a little on the older side, and what I have found is that, yeah, being a fuckboy does not have an expiration date. You can be old, like, listen, why though? Now, although this video was meant to be kind of lighthearted, I am dead serious about most of this stuff. But if you have an alternate thought than what I've stated here, please let me know down in the comments. Let's talk about it. I love interacting with you guys. And yeah, hit that subscribe button if you are still here. More videos to come. I'm doing Vlogtober. This is a Vlogtober video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.